Good morning to Straight Talk with Irene Yemba and
Andre Jackson. Good morning, everyone.
welcome back. Here we are. Today, actually, we just want to talk about some of the challenges of opening new territory. Not even opening new territory, just moving in general.
Yes.
Because a lot of people, let's face it, they are like, how can you just pack and move?
Especially because nobody likes to move.
Exactly. We humans, we are set in our ways. We are comfortable around family. We are comfortable around surroundings that we know. But guess what? If you stay in your comfort zone, you won't grow. Because there is truthfully no growth in your comfort zone. You have to get out of that comfort zone to grow. It allows you to grow as an individual, even as a couple, and everything. You just explore new areas. So the first challenge, I'll go with the first challenge we faced, a place to live. Because
well, I know we kind of talked about this last week, but can you just make the comment that you just made the decision to move? Because you and Jackie, I can't get them mixed. Everybody get them mixed up. I can't. So you, Jackie, and your husband,
who is your wife?
Dennis.
And she's my sister.
Correct. Exactly.
That's the connection. If you missed this last week, the connection is he met my sister, and we liked him. So
I like you too.
In our culture, you marry one, you marry the entire family. It's not like so I call him my second husband.
That's true. And when one get mad at me, they both get mad at me.
Exactly.
So I have to be careful of that part.
Yeah.
But they treat me very well. They brought me into their family. So yeah. So it's been a very good journey. It's been a very good journey. I actually make the joke I spend more time with Irene than with my own wife, right?
Exactly. Because we are in business together.
We're in business together. Exactly.
Yeah. So I believe it was in 2016. My nephew, who lives in Raleigh, was getting married, and they had two. I want to say they had the first where they went to church, and they were blessed. It was a small gathering, just family. So me, my sister, and my husband drove from Illinois. We actually own a business where we actually do events. So
That's
we
right.
surprised them. We rented a van and we brought our stuff, and we, they were just gonna do a simple thing at church. We set it up, and
they never keep it simple. Got to be all out and look beautiful, but
we
does.
decorated. We made their day special, and for us, this was the day that they actually exchanged their vows. So it was a good outing, and driving out here, we fell in love. It reminded us of home Zimbabwe, where you see so many trees, and it's just beautiful. It's a beautiful country. It's not flat like the Midwest, where in Illinois it's cornfield after cornfield. It's just flat.
Yeah.
Here, the mountains and everything just reminded us of home. So after that wedding, we went back home, and we told Andre, guess what? We are moving to North Carolina.
That was a statement, by the way, not a question.
Yeah, that's how it all started. Of course, then we were both in PHP, and guess what? In PHP, they put territories that needed to be opened.
Right.
In Charlotte, North Carolina was one of them. 2 years in a row.
Yeah, we went out to the main office in Dallas, Texas, actually in Addison, a suburb of Dallas, and we was walking around, and they had the parts of the state broken up and a little pen, right, where there was an office, and there was no pen in North Carolina.
Or South Carolina. Yeah. So we are like, okay, this is a sign. You know what? What other sign do you want?
Yeah.
This is a sign. This is meant for us. So that was in 2016. Their son, who was in high school, had one more year. We did not want to interrupt him. So We
That's right.
decided we'll
Okay.
wait when he graduates,
Mm-hmm.
then that's when we'll move. So that's why we ended up moving in 2018 instead of 2016. So, yep. So, yeah. So to go back, when you move to a new area, you don't know the neighborhoods, you don't know the areas.
We
you
didn't know anybody.
Don't know anything. So
How did we pick it though? So we thought, okay, North Carolina, where were we going to go? Now they went to Raleigh for the wedding.
Right.
Okay.
Yep.
So we said, okay, well, are we going to go to Raleigh or Charlotte is bigger? So we literally just picked Charlotte because it had more people. That's the
Yeah.
only reason why we picked Charlotte.
And we knew that after 9/11, a lot of banks moved to North Carolina,
That's right.
especially
Mhm.
Charlotte. So you have the big banks,
Yeah.
Bank of America, Wells Fargo.
Fargo.
They have their headquarters
Mhm.
here in Charlotte.
And Chase wasn't here at the time, but now
Yeah.
Chase is
yes, yeah, it's
setting up
coming
shop
in.
now.
So
Mhm.
yeah, so we did a little bit of research, and university area kept coming up.
Mhm.
University area, and we're like, oh, okay, that's where the University of what do you call it?
The school.
UNCC.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
I can't remember the full name, but it's the University of North Carolina and Charlotte. So they are
Okay.
different campuses.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the area that we are in. It's not in the, here they don't call it downtown. We are from Chicago.
That's
We
right. They
downtown.
call it uptown.
They call it uptown.
We got in a lot of trouble for that. Hey, let's go. I want to see what's downtown. It's uptown.
So we did not want to be in the uptown area. We wanted to be like on the fringes.
Yeah.
So, and someone from our home church in Chicago connected us with a friend who was here, who had moved here.
Yeah.
And that person connected us with a realtor. So we went and saw different areas.
Yeah, we looked in Matthew, I think. Did we look in Matthew? I think we looked in Matthew. We looked in Concord and Davidson,
Yep.
but he ended up in Mooresville.
Yep.
Ended
Yeah.
up in Mooresville because we needed a house that's going to be large enough for two families.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
one thing about immigrants, right? When they come into this country, they usually live together, right?
Yeah.
It's saving costs. You live together. Everybody goes out there, works, do what they need to do, and then as time goes on, then they may go off. They may purchase their own place, right? But here in the United States, growing up, when you're an adult, first thing you do is you want to move out, right? Not move in with anybody, but just learning a lot.
Yeah.
Just learning about different cultures and things like that and why they do certain things. Now, so moving around a lot, I stayed with family here and there, and sometimes family stayed with us. But when we moved out here, we had a large house, 6 bedrooms.
Yep. 6 bedroom.
5 baths.
Yep.
Mhm.
Enough
So
for
it was a big
everyone.
house. Yeah.
And the other reason why we do that is you move, across the country. You don't know anyone, so you want to be close to the people that matter to you the most. You want to be close to family. So that's the reason why we ended up in Morrisville, and it was a good area. It was just very far from where the office was.
Yeah.
So,
And they were doing construction.
right.
That
And-
wasn't fun either.
Yeah.
But
and-
it's still better than Chicago traffic.
And in this business, when you're running a business, you want to be close to the office just in case, someone calls and say, hey, let's meet in the office in
Yeah.
15 minutes. You don't want to say, oh, it's going to take me an hour. And sometimes it's more than an hour. It was, if you got stuck, if there was an accident. One thing we noticed in North Carolina, which makes it beautiful, if you're not on the highway or expressway, the local roads, they are very narrow. It's just two cars can just pass each other. That's it.
And there's no shoulder on the road.
Exactly. So if there's an accident, it's blocked.
Or somebody riding a bike.
Yeah, you have to wait to pass them. So that's another thing we encountered, and The other thing too, we come from Chicago, where everything is lit. There are lights everywhere.
Yes.
We came here, there are no street lights, so it was really dark in the evening.
That's why I'm wearing glasses, because I guess I finally noticed that I couldn't see. I noticed I couldn't see at night, because at night all the lights come blaring toward you and everything. You have all the hills. So yeah, it's not easy to drive at night.
Yeah.
So, and even though this is a booming area, we didn't know so many people was moving out here. I think when we moved out here, like 106 people a day was moving out to Charlotte. Now I think it's more like around 130. And I could probably truthfully say, is if it wasn't for GPS, everybody had cell phones on their GPS, everybody wouldn't be moving out here because they would get lost.
Yep.
Because the roads is like this. They're not like Chicago that had the grid system, right? You can take from Bolingbrook, you get on I-55. If there's traffic, you can get off on LaGrange Road. You can go down to 79th and hit 79th to shoot all the way downtown. Not a problem. You can't do this here.
Yep, that's true. Yeah. So, place to live, we did finally find, and we were very comfortable where we were. The next thing was to find an office. And
Yes.
You want to share how we ended up in this area?
Well, Irene did a lot of looking, and University area and Myers Park was two of the better places to be. It was more centralized. You know, the different highways and roads, a lot of them lead to the university area. Everybody knows the university area, and there's a bus stop too right outside.
Yep.
So if somebody don't drive, they can take the bus. They can be dropped off. So when we did, June of 2018, we flew down here.
We drove. We actually drove.
We drove. We drove with my daughter, okay? And we stayed a few days, or we stayed a week. I forgot how long we stayed.
Yeah, about
Okay.
probably 4 days.
Yep,
or so,
and we was making phone calls before we came down here, did a couple of our eyes interviews in the lobby, right? And we recruited a couple of people, and we found an office, 300 square foot office, right? It was small, but at least we had a place that we can go, and there was a conference room, a shared conference room that we could use. Okay, so that worked out, right? But, you know, a couple of things that happened. First of all, that office space was growing. So the conference room ended up being turned into a kitchen while we were there.
Yeah.
So that means when we were doing there was like a refrigerator. The refrigerator got moved in there and things like it still didn't matter. We still did what we needed to do. It wasn't the perfect place, but it served its purpose.
Yeah.
So we moved. So that lasted for a good 9 months.
Yep.
Until somebody in the office that we met had told Irene and Jackie about this office.
Yep.
So, and then you and Jackie came down here, right?
Same landlord had opened up this, it used to be a warehouse, and there was this one office suite where it was, you know, a blank canvas. And we came and we had ideas, but little did we know the Lord had something better for us. They even asked us how we wanted it partitioned, and we told them, and they did it, and we are so happy. And it always reminds me where the Bible says, do not despise small beginnings, because we started very small and we are growing. And you may be wondering, okay, what is it you guys do? We are actually licensed insurance brokers. We are under the umbrella of PHP, which is an integrity marketing. What do you call it?
Integrity Marketing Group. And actually, they're a multi-billion-dollar company.
Yep. So that's what we do. We sell life insurance. We educate people on the importance of money, the importance of life insurance, the importance of preparing for retirement, and just for life in general. And we will go delve deeper, but we just thought, hey, you may be wondering, what is it that you guys do? So,
and we do annuities also.
Yep.
So people know 401ks, 403bs, we can show you where you can move that money. So it'll definitely be there for you when you're ready to retire.
Yeah, yeah. The next thing that was a challenge was finding a place for worship. You know, we said when we at the beginning, our core foundation is our faith, our family, our finances, and we like, you know, we like building relationships too.
Yeah.
So finding a place of, you know, to fellowship. Coming from Chicago, we were in this wonderful church called Calvary Church that's in Naperville.
In Naperville, Illinois.
Yeah, it was. We were rooted there. We really loved our, you know, the fellowship there. But when we came here, we had to find something.
Yeah.
So we Googled. Google knows everything. We Googled
The Assemblies of God Church.
And there was one right around the corner,
Yeah.
and we went there. We thought, oh, we're just visiting. We went there, and guess what? We were so welcomed. It was beautiful. It was like we never left our church.
Yeah.
And guess what? That church was actually, at that time, they were having their fellowship. They were building, so they were at a school.
A middle school.
And it was a few minutes from the house. And apparently, actually, the senior pastor, they knew our pastor from Illinois, from Naperville. They, you know, his brother, they are brothers, and we had met
Pastor
him before.
Rick Ross?
Yes, Pastor Rick Ross and Pastor the Ross in Illinois, they are brothers. So
Mark?
no, oh God, how can we forget?
I know the son name is Kobe. I know it's Cody. I know that.
It'll come back to us. Anyway, so we found that, and we stayed with that until we moved, because, you know, when we moved finally to Huntersville, it was a little further. But at least now we knew what to look for a fellowship, what to look for a place where we can call home, because it's important for us to find a church where we feel that we are a part of, you know, the family of God, because that's one of the things that's very important to us. And
so I finally, me and Jackie found a church. I know Irene and them, we was going to one church, which they're still going to right now. Then I found a church called Union Church. Actually, my mentor, Christopher Hart in Maryland, they've been going to a Union Church in Maryland. A lot of people on the team and stuff goes to. And one of the pastors came out here and started to be lead pastor at a Union Church. So I've always heard great things about that. So once we finally moved, so before we get there, so let me just continue. So once we finally settled in and closed on our home, my goal was to really find a church, you know what I mean, that I really, really liked, you know, and I like stories. So I like when you go, it starts at a certain time, it ends at a certain time, right? I'm not that big of a church that you go in and 3-4 hours later, right? So and this church checked that box, and they do a series, and Pastor Brian talks about what's relevant today, and then go with the scriptures, back everything up with the scriptures and everything like that. So I am going doing that, and that starts off at a high school right now too, but it's a growing church. But we ended up settling in Huntersville, North Carolina, because first we moved to Mooresville, and that house worked out very well. But when we moved closer to the office, just like Irene said earlier, right, that we moved to Huntersville, and we moved together in a house. It was a nice sized house. It was still 5 bedrooms, 4 baths, I think. Yep. So that house worked out. But then when they found a new house and they built new construction, and then we stayed because our goal was to, find somewhere we were going to also purchase and everything. So the same division with D.R. Horton that they did. We ended up finally founding because COVID hit and crazy stuff. So we ended up finding a home with the lot that we liked and the home model that we really wanted. And then we ended up moving. So it's a same subdivision, 2-minute drive, 12-minute walk.
Yep. Yeah.
So we're still close to each other.
So going back to church, we actually, Dennis and I, go to a church. It's called Factory. It's a Factory Tribe. So check it out. Check their website. We really enjoy fellowship there. We are part of quite a few connect groups, just so we can build even more relationships. So the next thing, I'll let Andre talk about this: food, restaurants, finding restaurants. Coming from the Midwest, coming to North Carolina was one of the biggest challenges.
Yes, it was. Now, growing up, we had a spice business, right? And of course, my mother can throw down, and my sister Rita, she can cook. And my wife Jackie, she can cook, right? So food is a big deal for me. When I go out places, I want to enjoy it. Why? Because I might as well stay home because I know the food at home is going to be great. So moving out here, one of the first things that we looked at, we tried the pizza, okay? And no, it wasn't good. Now, they call it New York style pizza, but people from New York say that's not really New York style pizza. I don't know. I just know when I like it, my tongue doesn't enjoy it, right? So it's not good pizza. So, and there was this place in Cornelius called Chicago Hot Dogs. We tried, and that was actually very close to Chicago style pizza. So that place is nice, but just finding places to eat that's really, really great. I'll give a leg up. So a couple of places that we found was called the Crab Cracker. That's seafood, some crab legs and everything. We've been there several times. Very good. That's in the university area. And there's a hamburger place. Where's that place in Mooresville that we got the burgers from? You remember? It's like a warehouse. I forget what that is. But
Barcelona.
The Barcelona, that's a great place. It's not very expensive, and the food is great. It's like burgers and stuff like that, but it's very good. And then we found out about 131 Main or Main
131 Main.
131 Main.
It's a chain of restaurants.
That's off the chain.
Yeah.
It's good. I have to say, you want to try the cornbread when you get there.
Yeah. Do not miss their cornbread.
Yeah.
It's really good. Yeah.
But if anybody has any restaurants, but every time I say that, people say try it, and I say it's okay.
Yeah.
But it's not like I want to go back.
Yeah.
So if anybody put in the comments, "Oh, you ought to try this," I'm going to hold you to it.
Yeah.
No,
Tell us. Give us. We'll try it. We'll try different things.
Yeah.
And guess what? Sometimes what we are trying to bring this place. If you have never heard of Nando's.
Oh yeah.
there was Nando's in Chicago. So we were hoping, I actually wanted to have a franchise here in North Carolina, and when I talked to someone, when I went to their website, they said, no, they are not doing franchises, but if they do, guess what, I'll be the first one to open a Nando's. And when we go to Maryland, that's where the entire team goes actually. They don't mind having Nando's every single day while we're in.
Yeah.
It's special. It's a South African. Of course, I'm from Zimbabwe, so I'm biased, but even people who are not from Zimbabwe, once you taste Nando's, it's Nando's chicken. Nando's piri piri chicken is amazing.
It's delicious. And the sides. You know, most companies don't focus on the sides, but the sides have a lot of flavor and a lot of flair to them. So yeah, it's very good. So if you're ever in a place that has Nando's, you definitely want to try it out. And trust me, you're going to keep going back.
Yep.
You want to keep. Matter of fact, what was so funny is that, you know, I didn't know about Nando's. So one time Nando's wasn't in Chicago. And we saw in an article somewhere that Nando's was coming. My wife got so excited, she was giddy. I mean, so excited. She was super excited. So she said, let's go. And so when we went, the place wasn't even open yet. We still had to wait a couple more months. That was so funny. That was so funny on that part. But yeah, it's very good food. So yeah, so we're still trying to figure out the food things, but you know, we like to cook at home too.
Yep. Yeah.
So yeah, that's not a problem.
And the last thing, our time is running out. The last thing is friendship, because it's important to us. And when you leave your comfort zone, when you leave the people you've always talked to and have fellowship with, you have to make new friends. And that's something that you have to be intentional about. And you know what? We are always having people over to our house. We invite friends, we invite people from church. We go out to lunch after service. We just build relationships every single day. We are intentional in going out there and making new friends, because that's what it's all about.
That's why our business actually been pretty successful, because we're big on building relationships. So I grew up in flea markets and craft shows, right? So I believe in networking. But most people go to networking, they pass on business cards, and their job is to sell you what they have. But that doesn't grow a lot of times. Why? Because you have to build relationships. And let's be real, when it comes to referrals, and we ask for referrals quite often, right? People is never going to give you a referral if they don't know you. Because, you know, if they don't know, are you going to be on time, right? You know what you're talking about. You don't understand that. So we even build relationships with our clients, you know, and then they give us referrals because they trust us and they know that we're going to do what's best for the client. But just to meet people. So when we moved out here, again, we invited a lot of strangers to our own personal home, right? And we fed them, and we had a chance to meet them. And that just built relationships. I mean, even when we had one of the things, so when we went to a school one time, when we was registering my daughter Zoe for school, and we met mother and daughter there. So we invited them over, okay? And then one time we're saying, we are barbecuing, why don't you come by? They said, oh, well, we have family over here. I said, bring the family. It's probably at least 15 more people came with them. That was not a problem. And we'll build a lot of relationships with that. A lot of relationships. And, you know, they had businesses, okay, you know, and, you know, we supported them in their business, right? You know, we have a business, so we helped, whether it was life insurance policies and annuities and getting referrals, because we just built relationships. That's why we've been so successful out here.
Right.
Okay, because we just building relationships. And even when we closed on our home, it was like 4 pastors, 1 bishop, right? So those relationships. So yes, definitely friendship is a big part of, you know,
what we do.
of what we do in our journey.
So in closing, we are still looking for someone to tell us what we should call our channel. Right now it's Straight Talk with Andre and Irene. So again, until next time, tune in, same time, same channel. Like, comment, and subscribe. Okay.
Thank you. All right, everybody. You have a great day. Bye-bye.